I am back with a brand new DCEU update. And sorry I've been missing for the last week. I actually got COVID, the Omicron, and I just stayed home, rested, and didn't do anything this week. So I'm back at it. I'm back to normal. Yeah, I woke up last Saturday and I couldn't even talk at all, which was crazy. So I just rested and just kind of just laid back and rested up. So there is a lot to talk about today, and I'm going to start with the smaller stories and work our way up to the bigger ones, and then I am going to give you some rumors that have been floating around. Let's first talk about Shazam 2. That movie is coming very soon, and I'm looking forward to it. I really like the first Shazam movie a lot, and they came out and said that the second movie is going to have a lot more action in it and is also going to be more humorous. And I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see on that. The second thing I wanted to talk about was Leslie Grace's Batgirl costume, which I think looks horrendous. I did a post about that on my Facebook page because I couldn't speak, and most people agreed with me. I actually had a photographer chime in and say it's probably the way that it was shot, which I could agree with. But what's funny is they released somebody got some pictures from the set, and the costume does not match the promotional picture that they showed. In the shots with her in the movie, her belt is clearly black. It is definitely not yellow. Her cape doesn't have any yellow in it. It looks purple on the back. So the yellow and the yellow on her cape and the yellow on her belt are not in the movie. That was just in that promotional shot. And those do make a huge difference on the look of the costume. The cowl looks pretty good. I think it looks better than the Batman cowl for Robert Pattinson. So we'll see. That movie's coming. Who knows where it's going to end up in the universe, but I know it's got J.K. Simmons in it. There's a lot riding on the Flash movie, so we'll see where that movie fits in and if it's even going to be watched or not. The next thing I want to talk about is the runtime of the Batman movie. They did finally release the runtime, and it is 3 hours long. So with credits, it comes in at 2 hours and 55 minutes. And I'm sure that kills Warner Brothers. They don't like movies that long. They say it hurts sales. And I'm surprised and shocked that movie is coming out at 3 hours. But being a Batman fan, I'm all for it. I say bring it on. If the movie's good, I'm looking forward to that. In fact, that's probably the next movie I'm going to see in theaters. There isn't much coming out between now and March 4th. So that movie is also on the way, and here it's approaching very fast. So it's just about 6 weeks away. And then the last big story I want to talk about is what happened with Joss Whedon this week, or Joss Whedon. I don't remember how you say his name. I quite frankly, I don't care. I know some people will chime in, but I don't care. I don't like the guy. The guy's a weasel, especially after with what he responded with. There were these accusations, 6 months ago about his behavior on the set, and he actually had the guts to come out and say, well, Gal Gadot, English isn't her first language, and she probably didn't comprehend what I was telling her. Yeah, she was not happy with that and said nobody should ever work with him again. And he just discredited everything, said Ray's performance was unprofessional and shouldn't have been used. And so he came back firing it at them, at the actors and everything in the movie. And it's very clear that the guy is he's a jerk. There's no two ways about it. He is, and he's a big part of the problem with Warner Brothers. They actually promote this kind of behavior on the set. And luckily, that's one of the things that David Zaslav said he is going to take care of when Discovery takes over, that he is going to mend those relationships with the filmmakers and the studios. He doesn't want there to be that kind of atmosphere there, and I hope he's serious about that because, Ben Affleck's comments about playing Batman in that movie, it was one of the worst things he's ever gone through as an actor, and he just hated that experience on Justice League. And it's a shame what they did. We get the masterpiece, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's just mind-blowing how that's not what, they decided not to go with that movie in theaters. But, hey, whatever. Let's talk about some rumor stuff. We've got the Flash movie coming out, and there hasn't been a whole lot. I mean, we don't even have a trailer for that movie yet, and that movie's, just 9 months away. So it's kind of strange the way they're promoting that, but they did release a new logo for both Aquaman and also for The Flash. So they did release 2 new logos for those films, but that's it. There's a rumor out there that somebody quote, being in the know, says that the Flash movie does not erase anything Zack Snyder did, but in fact it erases the 2017 version of Justice League, so that Zack Snyder's is canon, which would be interesting. I mean, if they did that, that would be fan service and would really go a long way in mending the way people see some of this, which would be awesome if that's true. But you got to take it with a grain of salt. There's lots of rumors floating around out there. And, they also have this, what's interesting, one other story I wanted to talk about was Peacemaker. So Peacemaker has been released on HBO Max, and I am going to wait until that series has done, until they're done uploading all of their episodes, and I'll just watch it all in one shot. I watched the first 3 episodes and did a little review on that. Funny thing is, it has dismal streaming numbers, like horrendous streaming numbers. No normal show on any streaming service would survive if they had the streaming numbers that Peacemaker has. And Peacemaker is interesting. First of all, it is extremely foul. There's no question about it. It's teenage boys, humor. It's juvenile, to say the least. And it does wear after quite some time. It's a lot like Deadpool was. And after watching 3 episodes, it's like, all right, they're really going to have to make it a good story if that show is going to last, because that stuff's going to get old. And I could only watch the intro. It's a musical number. I could only watch it the first time, and then it was just super annoying after that. So, again, I don't even know why they made a Peacemaker show. I really don't. We're going to see if that ends up being good or not. I kind of gave it like a 7.5 out of 10 or a 3.5 out of 5. I just find it to be, I don't know. It's not what I asked for, and it's not what most fans want. I mean, we don't even have a Green Lantern yet in the DCEU, and who knows? They haven't even mentioned anything about that or the Gotham City Police Department show that they talked about doing. Like, these shows, we know they're coming, but there hasn't been anything really mentioned. There was a few casting notes, but and honestly, I think all this has to do with the merger. Now, here's a cool thing about the merger coming up with Discovery. There was a report, and David Zaslav said everything is moving so smoothly that this may happen before the middle of the year, that it could fast track to the end or mid-April of this year, that whole transition could be done. And he still is reiterating that he likes the big 3. He understands the power of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. So hopefully he capitalizes on that. But they are ready to go from day one. Like, there is no question about it. They are ready to take over, and that's why we've had no new movies and no new TV shows announced since that merger. So we're going to see where this all goes. Hopefully it does end up benefiting the fans, but I'm just tired of stuff like Peacemaker and shows like Gotham. I never even finished Gotham because it was too campy for me. I'm going to go back and finish it, but I don't like the camp. As an adult, I want to see the more adult stuff, and Zack Snyder was definitely delivering that. This juvenile garbage just doesn't cut it for me. But we'll see where this ends up at the end of the day. So I will be back next week, and I will be doing another recap. I do appreciate all the support. We'll see you guys on the next recap.